Good morning, students. Today we will learn Standard 8, Chapter number 3, Points of View. Read the following newspaper article from the Jalandhar News. Chaos reigns as traffic rules are ignored by Jatin Singh. Chaos means children, a state of utter confusion, a blackout cause, something like that, children. So when people do not follow the traffic rules, what happens on the road? You have generally marked, isn't it? Whenever you are out on the road or when you drive a car on the road, you can see that many a times the people do not follow the traffic rules. At this condition, at that situation, what happens, children? The chaos rules. Here orders are made to ignore and rules made to forget. So this is generally happens in our country, children. When we go outside the country, when we are out of India, children, we Indians are ready to follow any rules at any cost, isn't it? But when we are in our country, we forget that we have to follow the rule. On the contrary, we try to contradict our statements. Here orders are made to ignore and rules made to forget. Callous disregard for public inconvenience on the part of the municipal corporation, Jalandhar, and indifference on the part of traffic police is just the beginning of the problem that result in a chaotic traffic situation in the city. Callous. The word callous means children feeling no emotion for the inconvenience of the public on the part of the municipal corporation by the municipal corporation of the Jalandhar, and the indifference on the traffic police is just the beginning of the problem that results in a chaotic traffic situation in the city. That means neither the municipal corporation of the Jalandhar nor the traffic police is ready to take any kind of blame on them. In 2006, the MC, that is the Municipal Corporation, passed orders banning the parking of scooters and four-wheelers along the Tri-Junction. Tri-Junction, if you have seen, children, the three roads where three roads are meeting in front of its office. But the road leading from Punjab National Bank Chowk to Jyoti Chowk is still today overcrowded with randomly parked vehicles. So the order is passed by the Municipal Corporation that you cannot park any vehicles. But till today, you can see that people are parking their scooters, their vehicles, but that also not in an order. Anyhow they try to park the vehicles, and due to this, children, the public, those who are walking, they feel they are inconvenienced. An official from the MC said, "We have done our part. We passed the orders properly. It's not our job to police the streets." So now, when it is asked to the municipal corporation, one of the employee working there, the official said that we have done our part. We have already ordered an issue. We have issued an order that the no scooters or no vehicles will be parked. But people are still not listening, and we cannot go on the street and police the people, or we cannot ask them not to park. That is not our duty. Even though years have elapsed since the delivery of the MCG orders, we can see no visible efforts to correct the problem. So even though many years have passed off, a municipal corporation has given the orders, but there is still no improvement in that. It looks as if the orders were passed only to complete the official formalities and not for the implementation. So we find that the municipal corporation has done their part, but there is no kind of change, or there is no kind of implementation could be seen. The MC originally built a parking zone for the public by taking over some land from the Nehru Garden area. But use of this zone is mostly limited to employees of the corporation and a few nearby banks. So what the municipal corporation did, for in order to remove this chaotic situation, they brought land from the Nehru Garden area, and what they use this zone, they use this only for the employees of the corporation and the nearby banks people. They can park the vehicles, but what about the others? That is not clear. When the Tribune is the name of one of the newspaper, the magazine, when the Tribune visited the parking area, just 15 cars and around 30 scooters parked, most of which belonged to these employees. At the same time, there were long queues of vehicles parked along the sides of the roads. Vehicles on the road were parked in a haphazard manner, blocking the flow of traffic. So when the Tribune, when they went to see, they saw that the parking area which municipal corporation had bought, that is the Nehru Garden area, there you can see only 15 cars and 30 scooters. What about the rest of the vehicles? They were parked outside, and that also haphazard means anyway, and it was blocking the traffic. The only no parking signs we found here were in hidden corners. So wherever they have put this no parking symbols, that was in a hidden corner. That means the public cannot see that there was that it was written no parking. The busy areas is famous for big chemist shops, bakeries, roadside eateries, and shoe shop. Rainak Bazaar and Dilkusha market, where their narrow lanes and heavy vehicular flow have turned into a nightmare for the shoppers. So this bazaars, children, that had a narrow road, and in that narrow road the people also want to pass, the vehicles also want to go. Everything was not possible and the shoppers were finding it very difficult. They claim that when a parking area was constructed on a building operate transfer 2006, the basis public failed to utilize it. People here do not abide by the rules. These same people would never run a traffic signal abroad, but here they need constant supervision, which is impossible, said a traffic police officer. So this is what a police officer want to say, that even though we tell them to follow the rules, the people are not ready to follow the rules. What if they go abroad? If they are not in India, if they go to other countries, they will follow the rules. But when they come to our country, they want somebody to supervise them, that they have to do this and that. And for that, the traffic police is not enough. But the people who frequent some of the city's oldest bazaars in the area have their own justification. Now the people, those who are often coming to the bazaar to buy some of the other thing, they have their own points of view. What is that? A passing student told this to the reporter. The authorities charge too much for parking. So what is the passing student? One of the boy was passing by, and the authorities asked them that why you do not park your vehicles in the proper place when you are when you are allotted, when you know the rules that here you cannot park the vehicle, but still you park the vehicle. What is the reason? Then the student said that they are charging too much. Who will pay 25 bucks for only 15 to 20 minutes if you just want to guzzle a tomato soup and have a quick bite at the tikki corner? So he is also true. The boy is telling that they are charging 25 rupees for 15 to 20 minutes. Why they have to charge that much amount for a 15 to 20 minutes? And what he has to do during this 15 to 20 minutes? He want to have a tomato soup and he wants to have a tikki. So for this he is not ready to pay 25 rupees. You shouldn't have to pay so much. With the shoppers flouting traffic and parking rules and the authorities and police indifferent to the problem, the situation is doomed to chaos. So because of this, the police, the municipal corporation, the shopkeepers and the people, those who are not ready to follow the rule, because of this the chaotic situation arises in the place, and it is raining. Activity 2. When the writer tells the ideas of other people, they can do it in different ways. One way is to show the exact word of the person by using direct quotation. We have learned, children, this direct quotation, direct and indirect speech. You can see the quotation words. That means the exact word said by the person. Another way is to stay very close to the words and meanings, but without using a direct quotation. This can be called as reported speech. Example, this is an example of a direct quotation. The author uses quotation mark to show us that the word inside them are exactly the words that Ben said. That is what we call direct and indirect speech. Ben said, do you mean that you enjoy it? That means this word is exactly spoken by Ben, not by anybody else. Direct quotations are written inside quotation mark. They show the exact words of source. Now you can see the other part. Writing a person's idea in quotation mark shows that the writer is using the exact word of the person. If a writer needs to change the exact words, this must be indicated with different punctuation. So if you want to put your own ideas, you cannot put it into a quotation mark, but you have to use some other punctuations. What are that punctuation, children? Now, this is an example of reported speech. Reported speech tells us the meaning of what Ben said, but changes the grammar so that no quotation marks are used. Reported speech is often used in newspaper. Ben asked Tom if he meant that he enjoyed painting the fence. An official from the MC said, we have done our part. We passed the orders properly. It is not our job to police the street. This is the quotation words said by the police official. Now, what answer will come here? The answer will come like this. An official from the MC said that they have done their part. They passed the orders properly. It was not their job to police the street. Now the second one also you can try it by yourself. This you can read it out, children, for yourself and find the answer. Moving on to our next activity. Point of view is a particular way of thinking about something. Your point of view is influenced by the type of person you are and by your experience. You can see the image is given, children. A image of an elephant, and you can see the five people are surrounded. Five people is standing next to the beside to the elephant, and everyone is touching the different parts of elephant, so they feel that elephant is something what they believe. Let us see what the lesson explains. Activity 5. The story of the blind man and the elephant is about different points of view. The story began in India, but it has spread all over the world. It's part of many religions and has many variations. This is one that was made into poem by John Godfrey Saxe in the early 1870s. Read the poem, help classmates to understand the new words and the meaning of the poem. The Blind Man and the Elephant. The summary, I'll read out the poem, children, and I will give you the summary of this poem. It was six men of Hindustan, Hindustan means India, to learning much inclined, who went to see the elephant, though all of them were blind, that each by observation might satisfy his mind. The first approached the elephant, and happening to fall against his broad and sturdy side, at once began to bawl, God bless me, but the elephant's very like a wall. The second, feeling of the tusk, cried, Ho, what have we here so very round and smooth and sharp to me? It's this mighty clear, this wonder of an elephant's was like a spear. The third approached the animal, and happening to take the squirming trunk within his hands, thus boldly up and spake, I see, quoth he, the elephant's very like a snake. The fourth reached out an eager hand and felt about the knee. What most this wondrous beast is likes, mighty plain, quoth he. This clear enough, the elephant is like a tree. The sixth one, the fifth who chanced to touch the ear said, then even the blindest man can tell what this resembles most. Deny the fact who can, this marvel of an elephant, very like a fan. The sixth no sooner had begun about the beast to grope, than seizing on the swinging tail that fell within his scope, I see, quoth he, the elephant's was very like a rope. And so these men of Hindustan disputed loud and long, each in his own opinion, exceeding stiff and strong, though each was partly in the right and all were in the wrong. Children, now the summary of this poem. It is a beautiful story which tells us about the concept of the partial reality that we experience. This earliest parable of this story was found in Buddhist, Jain, and Hindu text. Once upon a time, there were six blind people who lived in a village. An animal named elephant has been brought to the village. One of the villagers told these six blind men that there is an elephant in the village today. When these blind men heard this, out of the curiosity, they wanted to experience it by touching it, as they had no idea what an elephant looks like. Now, there are many versions of the same story in which how the elephant's body parts are described by the blind men in different way. If you like to, when the first person, sorry, when the first person touched the side of the elephant, he said it is like a wall. The second person, when touched the tusk of the elephant, by touching it, he told that everyone it is strong and smooth, just like a spear. When the third person touched the trunk of the elephant, he said it is like a snake. But the fourth person experienced something different. He said it is like a tree when he touched the feet of the elephant. The fifth one, when touched the ear of the elephant, it felt like a fan to him. Lastly, when the sixth person touched the tail of the elephant, he said it was like a rope. Each of the six men starts suspecting each other, thinking that remaining five are lying. They start arguing with each other. A wise man passing by saw them. He inquires about why they are arguing with each other. They tell him what they think about the elephant. They ask him to decide who is correct among them about the description of the elephant. So the wise man says, all of you are correct. They were shocked after hearing this and asked him that how it is possible that all of them are correct. The wise man said, each of you has touched a different part of the elephant. That is why you all are correct, as elephant consists of all those characteristics that you have described. Now, what is the moral of this story, or the moral of this poem is that, children, the blind man and the elephant tells us about the reality of life and also about a basic problem that we all have. It tells us that individual truth may be partially true, but it is not the ultimate truth. There might be some fact to what somebody says. We might not agree with it at first because we have our own reason, but what we think might not be the absolute truth. So I hope, children, you understood this lesson, children. The remaining activity part I will give you as a PDF.